Hello everyone, Min here bringing you some more Brawlhalla content, and since it's Wednesday, I'm gonna check the Brawlhalla website to see if there's any new balance changes and stuff, because that stuff usually happens on Wednesdays, so it's time to see what my reaction is and analyze what I can about it. This is all impromptu, so let's see what is new. Okay, patch 9.02. Okay. Okay, new challenges. Oh, I feel bad for all those guys who thought that their hard light weapons from those viewer stream rewards are gonna be exclusive because you can just get them from the store. Okay. Bubble Bomb is graduate. I mean, that's not a big deal if you play ranked, but sucks to be you guys who are playing 2v2 and forget to turn your gadgets off. New KO effect, Mirage's Fury. I think it's that Mirage's Fury is that skull of sand, so that's pretty cool. Snowboarding emote, cool. Paloma and sardines for sidekicks. The mass rivalry avatar is pretty cool. It's like the old versus the new. Okay, this new skirmish is actually hype because Naughty versus Nice, which was the previous skirmish for the holiday season, that was pretty cliched because good versus evil, it's probably much easier to choose from. But pancakes versus waffles, I might be biased here, but I like pancakes and I like waffles. They taste pretty similar to me. It's just more like the texture kind of thing, right? Yeah. I mean, soft waffles that I had, like Belgian waffles that were soft with like the waffle griller machine or whatever, those were really good. So I don't even know what to pick between pancakes versus waffles, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, the skirmish mechanics seem to be the same though. Yeah, seems the same. So that's pretty cool. Tournament map pool updates. Okay, this is actually important because that involves competitive play. Higher vantage points won't have high floating spawns. Okay. Standardize the weapon spawn zone and the amount of distance between each spawn. That's not too big, but it does have some niche applications. Team initial spawns are now guaranteed to be contrasting compared to similar maps' initial team spawns. I don't really play teams that much, so that's cool. However, this... Whoa! Okay, this is big. The following changes have been made to the pools. Moas Isley Spaceport has been added to the 1v1 and 2v2 tournament map pool. And Apocalypse was gotten rid of to be replaced with the Spaceport. I'm going to play on the Spaceport later today and see how that goes. But I never really liked Apocalypse that much. I mean, Apocalypse was just aesthetically cool, but I didn't like it mechanically. The kill boxes were too big. So let's see how Spaceport goes. Game improvements. Select one or more favorite cosmetic items. We'll give you a random one from your selected options. Okay, that's pretty helpful. I have a ton of weapon skins, so that's going to help. Gadgets are now available in the image render tool. Nice, nice. Add a pop-up screen warning brawlers attempts to get a refund for an item that is used. Okay, not very relevant, but okay. Okay, this is huge. Fix several bugs preventing certain letters from being input in the several text fields, including clan name and 1v1/2v2 tournament name. This is huge because I remember trying to make my own clan, and for some reason I couldn't type T into like random letters like U. Like, how are you gonna type and TO? Like, there's just random words that you couldn't type for some reason. And that's a massive list of words, so good for fixing that. Fixed animation issues when equipping. Okay. Okay, now this is the important stuff, the nitty gritty, the meats and potatoes. Balance. Appropriate risk to certain key. Okay. I suppose these are going to be majority nerfs then. Axe. Axe neutral air was an overly safe option during team games. Retreat. Okay, I'm going to skim through the description. We'll talk about the actual thing. So they're decreasing the amount of backwards acceleration on hit for Axe neutral air. So that's basically. So it's on hit, so it only affects 2v2s, I believe. Right? Although there might be some minor uses, like when you're trying to recover and then you try to drift after you land an axe in air. So it's technically a nerf, albeit much more so for 2v2s. Battle Boots. Battle Boots ground pound now has less threat coverage, and the hurt box has been adjusted to allow more attacks to reliably contest the ground pound from front and below. Okay, that's good, really good. Battle Boots is like those weapons where it's so new that it's kind of still has a lot of stuff that needs to be checked over. And having Battle Boots ground pound getting nerfs with the hitboxes is really nice in my opinion because it's another steerable ground pound, which basically makes Gauntlet ground pound less special in my opinion. So having Battle Boots get nerfed for the ground pound makes sense. So that's good. Steerable ground pounds are really crazy utility, so that's a good nerf. Cannon. We have increased the cooldown time on miss and hit for cannon downlight. And as repeated use of this attack could block attempts at retaliation. Okay. Greater recovery time on miss for cannon dare. Increased cooldown time. Okay, the cooldown time on miss for cannon downlight's not that big, but the increased cooldown time on hit from 12 to 15 is massive. So I guess you're not going to be spamming cannon downlight into cannon downlight as much for extended strings, even though that's kind of weird. But okay. Okay, cannon down air is getting a lot of hate back-to-back patches now. I mean, they made like a hitbox nerf, and now they're going for a recovery time on miss nerf. 2 frames. Okay. I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, cannon dare is a good move, but is it really fair for it to get hit 2 patches in a row? Perhaps. My experiences with cannon is really hit or miss, but cannon dare is really insane off stage, and this nerf is only for the ground version, which is already pretty punishable. So yeah, that's kind of iffy. Gauntlets. Gauntlet's neutral air now has greater recovery time on miss to grant a wider opportunity to return to stage between gauntlet attacks during an edge guard and to more easily retaliate. Okay, this is a good nerf. Gauntlet's neutral air is probably the best move on Gauntlets in terms of individual specialization because, like, Gauntlet's Nair, that's like almost as good as Hammer Recovery, but you don't have to waste a recovery and it easily sets up into ground pound and it reverses situations and it extends strings so easily. So having that be more punishable is really good. I think they should have hit Nair more on Gauntlets rather than Sair because that hitbox nerf on Sair was kind of unjustified in my opinion. But Gauntlet's Nair nerfs is a step in the right direction in terms of Gauntlet changes though, so I'm happy about that. Moving on. Rocket Lance neutral air now has less allowed backwards acceleration on hit to grant a wider opportunity for opposing teammates to retaliate against this attack in team games. Okay, it's kind of like with Axe neutral air, less drift on hit, I suppose. I guess that matters off stage in 1v1, and I guess it also helps against preventing easy setup locations when you land it in 1v1s as well. I hope that doesn't impact the Nair into recovery or Nair into Sair combos on Lance in the niche hitboxes, but I don't know. I'll have to see. I guess that's mostly a 2's hit. Orb, we have increased the cooldown time on miss for the orb side air to allow a wider opportunity to retaliate or maneuver against repeat use. Okay, good. You have no idea how annoying orb stare is. Like you can devise a full on strategy and play style around orb stare. Like, oh yeah, let's just run around, wait for them to miss, spam Sayer on the back end, and then get some cheesy parry tactics going on. So they really cut down on orb stare spam. So that's good. Increase cooldown time on miss from 12 to 15. I like that it's cooldown and not recovery time. So that means people aren't exactly punished for missing it as much. It's more so you just gotta be more creative with your gameplay. So that's a healthy change. So I'm cool with that. Okay, Scythe. The Scythe side air and down air can rotate into other attacks too quickly for their coverage and potential reward. So we have increased the recovery time on miss to bring... Okay, well that's a bummer for my Mirage. Scythe Sayer. Increased total recovery time on miss from 2 fixed to 4 fixed. Increased total recovery time on miss from 2 fixed to 4 fixed. Okay, that's pretty punishing when you miss those aerials then. Don't mind me, I'm pretty clumsy and I often miss my Scythe Sayers, so I'm gonna have to be more careful about that. Somewhat of a fair nerf, since Scythe does rely on those, especially in offstage as well. But Scythe wasn't the elephant in the room here, so nerfing Scythe seems kind of odd. But I guess BMG knows what they're doing, so I don't really have anything to disagree with this. Other than there's probably other stuff to worry about besides Scythe. I suppose we just gotta deal with it. I mean, they hit Axe pretty hard, now they're hitting Scythe pretty hard, so it's only fair. Okay, Sword. The Sword Sidelight now has increased stun and decreased force to allow for more consistent follow-up attacks. To account for this consistency, we have also increased the maximum angle of directional influence for this attack when struck by duplicate attacks in a single combo. The Sword Recovery attack now has less force to better match its high degree of utility. Okay, it's like a switcheroo in power in the movesets. Sword Sidelight, though, that's pretty consistent in follow-ups from Sidelight into Neutral Light at any health, then. At least that's what I've heard from some people on Twitter. That's pretty sweet. I might... Jiro and Roland seem pretty interesting now. Might give them a shot. The decreased force on Sword Recovery kinda sucks, but that move is pretty good in general. It's easy to land and it's easy to drift with, so it's not a big deal. Okay, legend changes. Azoth's down signature on bow now has much greater force to better match its relatively small threat coverage and straightforward nature. Down bow, increased force from 65 fixed, 51 variable. Whoa, 3. Okay. I mean, that SIG was rarely... that SIG is underused, so that's not a big deal. The hitboxes are pretty small, just like it says, so fair and buff. Imugi. We have increased the time to hit and decreased the threat coverage for the first hit of Imugi's side axe to provide a wider avenue to maneuver around this powerful attack. We have also increased the recovery time. I mean, that's good. Imugi is an insane legend, so I wouldn't be surprised if Imugi turns into another Onyx if he keeps getting like nerfed back to back. So honestly, pretty cool with that. Legends that have high strength and high defense and can get away with still playing with those stats and not being much of a detriment to their movement honestly needs to be hit, in my opinion. So that's fair. Core. The aerial version of Core's downhammer now has greater force to better match its lengthy total commitment time. I mean, that's good. That's a good buff. 3 extra fixed, 2 extra variable, but it's only for the aerial version, so that's not too often that you'll land it, but that's fine. Reno's down blasters and neutral orb have increased damage. Okay, I mean that's good. The damage is somewhat low, so having it higher doesn't hurt. And it's not that high, 28, 26. I mean the down blasters is somewhat high, but still normal. Reno Orb to 26 sounds interesting though. That'll probably bring it more in line to like Diana Bow neutral sig now because the damage will then scale into the more force, right? So that's pretty nice. Pretty nice for Reno. Sir Roland. Sir Roland's neutral rocket lance now has greater force to better match its lengthy time to hit and relatively slow travel speed. Sir Roland's side rocket lance now has greater travel speed. Finally! You have no idea how long Kostelix and I and all those other Lance players wanted Sir Roland to get buffs on his side sigs. So, massive win for Lance and Roland in particular. Sir Roland neutral rocket lance increased force. The variable by 2 went up. Good. That helps. But Sir Roland's side rocket lance though increased travel speed during the first hit. During or before the first hit. I'm gonna have to check this out. Don't mind me.
Training.
Sir rolls a lot. Sir Roland. Okay. Oh, that is faster. I can see it. That is way faster. And considering that Lance doesn't have sidelight recovery as a kill option at all, unless it's no dodge, that's pretty sweet. That makes Sir Roland much more viable now, by far. We just may have to adjust the Lance signature top 10 because of this. Like, look at this. Okay, never mind. I'm really curious as to how far this signature can go in terms of potential. But still, though, that's a massive upgrade. It's basically heavy sidelight into recovery as a signature for Roland. So that's sweet. I like this. Thank you, BMG. I might hop into Roland again. W buff for Roland. Thank you, BMG. Wushang. We have decreased the force of Wushang's neutral spear to better fit its high degree of utility and sizable threat coverage. Poor Wushang getting hit by yet another nerf. I mean, it's justified because Wushang is just really, really balanced with really, really good follow-up game. It's only 2 variable, but still though, that's like one of his lowest risk sigs. And it got hit too. So now you're really just relying on frame data to be good with Wushang now. The force is just balanced now, so Wushang's actually balanced. So sweet. Okay, Brawl of the Week is just fun. Nothing really unique there. Legend rotation. Taros, Cross, Lucian, Thor, Arcadia, Thea, Jiro, Sidra, Moonin. A lot of cheesy characters there. Cool. Well, that wraps up the patch. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and analysis, and hope you guys stay tuned for future updates. Have a good one. Peace.